So bonjour, welcome to this third edition of All In, which is conceived by Scale AI and co-organized by Mila. I just want you to know this is a 360 stage, and we have 4 cameras, so when you see me turning, I'm not trying to make you dizzy. I'm just trying to make sure that I see everybody, and then the people online get all types of shots. To start, it is important for us to acknowledge that this event is being held on indigenous land, land that was never ceded. We recognize the Kanien'kehá:ka Nation as the caretakers of the lands and the waters on which we are meeting today. It is with respect, with connections to the past, to the present, and to the future that we acknowledge the ongoing relationship between the indigenous peoples and other members of this Montreal community. My name is Martine Saint-Victor, and I will be your MC today and tomorrow on this stage. It's not a competition, but I think this stage is better than the other stage, but we can talk about that later. For this third edition, All In will welcome over 200 speakers and 6,500 registered participants. Although the video says 6,000, it's 6,500 from 42 countries, although the video said 40, but last-minute additions. And so the program is very rich with conferences and talks here and on the other stage. And we have new things today. We have the all-in talks, specialized AI sessions, and hands-on workshops which will be held on the upper floor. Between sessions, I invite you to network. You've seen all the exhibitors, you've seen all the kiosks. Please go, mingle, and meet new people. This year, we have a fresh approach. We have cross-industry perspectives woven into the program topics because innovation is not confined to just one sector. Ideas can spark anywhere and find powerful application across multiple industries, and we will showcase that today and tomorrow. Today and tomorrow also, you'll explore a very rich agenda in which we'll cover a slew of things, including customer service, infrastructure, finance, creativity, climate, and much, much more, I promise. And then something new this year, the introduction of 5 dedicated tracks designed to help you navigate the program. So we'll cover AI and society and the economy, sustainability, the future of work, enterprise transformation, innovation, and data. And also give me a chance to thank our exhibitors, our partners, and obviously you for being here in person, and for the people watching through the 4 cameras. Welcome. Wish you were here. And it is with great pleasure that I welcome our very first speaker. She is the Executive Director of Pan-Canadian Artificial Intelligence Strategy at the Canadian Institute for Advanced Research. Some of us know it as CIRA. Alisa Strom, please come and give this thing a kickoff. Thank you very much.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous. C'est un grand plaisir d'être ici aujourd'hui avec vous. Je m'appelle Alisa Strom et je dis souvent que j'ai le meilleur emploi au Canada. I'm Alisa Strom. I'm the Executive Director of the Pan-Canadian AI Strategy at CIFAR, C-I-F-A-R, Canadian Institute for Advanced Research. I'm here today to actually try to bust one of the myths that has been floating around lately in our national dialogue around AI. And that is that somehow Canada is losing its edge. We're losing our lead. And this is something that I firmly believe is not true, and I'm going to tell you why today. In 2017, Canada was the first country in the world to announce a national AI strategy announced by our federal government. And CIFAR and our partners at the 3 national AI institutes, these are Amy in Edmonton, the Vector Institute in Toronto, and Mila here in Montreal. We've all been working together along with our partners around the ecosystem. Scale AI, the Digital Research Alliance of Canada, the NRC, so many other public and private sector partners, to build what we have today, which is a very rich, robust, dynamic, interconnected AI ecosystem. And we should all be very proud of what we have here in Canada. It's on display this week here at the conference. But over these 8 years, other countries around the world have stood up and taken notice on the power and potential of AI. So while Canada was ahead of the game, so many other countries now have been investing significantly and catching up in a lot of ways. In fact, there are places where Canada needs to improve in our AI ecosystem and in our AI strategy. You've heard about the need for greater private and public sector adoption, the need for more commercialization. But the fact remains is that Canada is one of the world's great AI nations. And the reason we have such a strength and such an advantage is because of the Research and Talent Foundation that we built here in Canada. So at CFAR, we believe that research and talent are the bedrock of Canada's AI ecosystem. And through the Pan-Canadian AI strategy, we've been working hard to build up that research and talent base. We have a program funded by the federal government called the Canada CFAR AI Chairs Program. And this has allowed us to recruit some of the world's best researchers from all around the world to come to Canada. They're affiliated with the 3 national AI institutes. They're training the next generation of students. And the program has also allowed us to keep the amazing talent that we already had here in Canada. And so at CFAR, we sort of knew intuitively that this was a great group of researchers, that they were doing important work, that they were advancing the science and application of AI. But I wanted to understand that quantitatively. And so we commissioned a study to compare our cluster of Canada CFAR AI chairs. This is about 130 people, really a small group in the grand scheme of things, across the country compared to other research clusters in AI all around the world. And we are looking specifically at measures of research impact. And what we found was that the Canada CFAR AI Chairs Program, in fact, is one of the strongest, highest impact clusters of AI research in the world. Third only behind Google, and behind one other public sector institution, depending on which metric you're looking at. And so we're feeling very confident that what we have built is a very, very strong group of researchers. They're doing great work and delivering important impact. And you can see on the slides here, though, that our edge is narrow, right? And so we have to make sure that we're keeping that in mind. And so why are research and talent so important to everything that we do in the ecosystem? In fact, everything that we do, from innovation, commercialization, the launch of startups, adoption of AI, that all stems from the Research and Talent Foundation that we have built. Any innovation ecosystem needs great ideas and great people who have great ideas. And you need to create a stimulating environment where they can work together, where they can be challenged, where they have the resources and opportunities to push their ideas and push the limits. And that's really what we have built in Canada. And so if we want to continue to innovate and grow and apply AI to some of the hardest questions facing our society, we need to continue to build that research and talent base. And already, our Canada CFAR AI chairs are having a real impact in the world. So they are taking their science out of the lab, applying it to real questions, real challenges facing society, and having an impact. And so let me give you a few examples of that. The first one is from Edmonton, our colleagues at AMY. These are Professors Martha and Adam White. They are Canada CFAR AI chairs at AMY, professors at the University of Alberta, and they are some of the world's leading experts in reinforcement learning. So you all know reinforcement learning is one of the key scientific approaches to machine learning. It has been very much pioneered in Canada. Rich Sutton is one of the great leaders of the field. And at the University of Alberta, at AMY, they have built truly a world-class research cluster on reinforcement learning. Many, many colleagues working in this space. So Martha and Adam were working to apply reinforcement learning to real-world questions, and they were working with a water treatment plant in rural Alberta. They wanted to be able to use reinforcement learning to engage real-time monitoring and control of water treatment systems, and they found this approach to be very successful. And because of that, they decided to scale it up and to launch a startup company called RL Core Technologies. And this company now is working with water treatment plants across Alberta, some in BC. But they tell me also that they see many opportunities to apply their reinforcement learning approach to other industrial processes. If you think of other sectors, energy, manufacturing, Agriculture, there's so many opportunities to apply reinforcement learning for real-time, continual monitoring and control of the systems. So that's one opportunity where great Canadian science is now being deployed in industrial sectors. Another area that uses a lot of reinforcement learning, but also engineering, is robotics. And robotics is a field of research that we are very strong in Canada. We have researchers all the way from Vancouver, Montreal, Kitchener, all the way out to Halifax, working in the area of robotics research. And you can think of so many applications. We're starting to see them in our everyday lives and in our media, etc. And so what we are also seeing, because of the scientific strength that we have in robotics, we're also seeing an upsurge of new AI startup companies in robotics. So many of them are here today on the showroom floor. But we have many robotics companies being built in Canada, thinking about different applications in different sectors, and starting to commercialize this area of research now into translation. And so these are a couple of areas where Canadian science is really starting to have a positive impact for society. Another example of the application of AI that I think will really benefit society is autonomous vehicles. So motor vehicle accidents are a major cause of morbidity and mortality all around the world. 1 million people a year die in motor vehicle accidents. I think many of us have been affected in this way. We know somebody who's been in a bad car crash. And I think that autonomous vehicles have the opportunity to really improve the safety on our roads. And so I'm excited about a company that's based in Toronto called Wabi. It was founded in 2021 by Raquel Urtasun. Raquel is a professor at the University of Toronto, a founding member of the Vector Institute, and came to Canada in 2014 because they knew that what we had here in Canada was a really, really strong talent base and people who wanted to, and the opportunity to apply AI to real-world problems. So Wabi is a great example of a company that is really leveraging science as they think about building their applications. They are world experts in the area of computer vision research, another area that we're really strong in Canada. We have a lot of active researchers across the country. And of course, autonomous vehicles need to see. That's the idea. They're sensing the world around them. And so advances in computer vision are really helping to drive the application of autonomous vehicles. But Wabi is also a leading innovator in the area of generative AI. In order to safely test their autonomous trucks, they've built, using generative AI, an entire virtual world. It's a simulation where they can test different scenarios of how the trucks will respond based on their technologies. So not only are they deploying and advancing science of AI, they are building new innovations and new approaches to generative AI as well. The last example that I have for you is here in Montreal. And it's in an area, again, that I think Canada has a huge opportunity to deliver significant impact on the application of AI, and that's AI for health. It's something that we at CFAR have been advocating for a long time. We've been delighted to see major investments by the federal government, by provincial governments, lots of research happening in AI for health, lots of new startups being formed as well. And AI in healthcare can be applied so many different ways. If you're thinking about basic biomedical research or medical imaging, drug discovery, patient management through the healthcare system. There's so many different steps along the way where AI can really help to improve our healthcare system, and we all know that it needs help. And so it's been wonderful to see the growth of this field in Canada. We have 30 Canada CFAR AI chairs who are focused specifically on this topic. They and all of their students are working to deploy AI within our healthcare systems, biomedical applications. And so it's a major, major area for us in Canada and a major opportunity. Reliant is a great example that I wanted to share with you because they're actually using AI to understand the full breadth of the biomedical research landscape. And so what they have done is build a large language model based on the entire literature of biomedical sciences. They've plugged in scientific articles, clinical trials data, regulatory data, and they've built a large language model that now understands the full context of biomedical research. This is a very unique resource. And so now they offer a service to researchers, biotech companies, pharmaceutical companies, anybody who's got a question about a particular aspect of biology, a particular drug target that they're pursuing, a particular disease process. The LLM can help you to understand where your question lies in the context of everything that we already know about the field. And that is not something that any human can do. No human expert anymore can understand all of the context of the scientific field that they work in. And so this is a great example of where large language models can really help us to advance science. This is a particular example in biomedical science, but I really believe that many areas of science will benefit from the adoption of AI. Think about physics, chemistry, materials science. I think this is a place where Canada can also have a big impact. So I don't want to forget about the risks of AI. It's something that we take very serious in Canada, and that we have a deep commitment to developing responsible and safe and trustworthy AI. And so we were delighted at CFAR to be partners with the Government of Canada. Last year, they launched the Canadian AI Safety Institute and asked us to lead the research program. And so this has been a tremendous opportunity to gather that expertise that we have across the country. We are mobilizing our Canada CFAR AI chairs community to address the specific questions, understand the risks, and figure out ways to mitigate those challenges of advanced AI systems. And not just the Canada CFAR AI chairs and the technical questions, but we're also engaging with social scientists so that we can understand the socio-technical impacts of AI, because it's critical that as we develop the technology, we also understand its impact on society. So I'll leave you with three things. I want to make sure that you believe, like I do, that research and talent are the foundation of Canada's AI ecosystem, that it is our greatest strength, and it is really what helps to catalyze everything else that we do downstream. From innovations, from commercialization, startup, AI adoption in the public and private sector, research can help be the foundation that everything else grows from. And so we need to keep investing in that. We need to make sure that our talent stays here in Canada, that they have the resources that they need to do great work. And certainly, there are lots of places around the world that are envious of what we have built here in Canada. Number two, I think you've seen a couple of examples of startup companies that are being led by researchers from across our ecosystem. I think there's a huge opportunity to leverage their entrepreneurial spirit, their passion for applying science for impact, and think about how we can help them and their students build more startup companies, translate more innovations from the lab out into the real world. And number three, I think we can mobilize the research community, but all of us, I think we all have a role to play in the adoption of AI. It's something that we're here at an AI conference, we're all part of this ecosystem. It's something that we need to think about. How do we support deeper adoption of AI across the country and across so many sectors? And I think if we can do that, if we can engage and mobilize our researchers, if we can actively pursue shared goals, I think we'll build an AI ecosystem that really benefits all Canadians. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.